Hey guys, it's David here. Today we're going to talk about how to, on the cheap, craft yourself some pretty decent armor. So to start out with, in general, crafting in PoE is just a fucking waste of currency, right? Almost always you can just go and buy yourself something better that somebody else has that they don't want anymore. Uh, which is a real bummer because the coolest thing about PoE, in my opinion, is how just fun and deep the crafting system is, and so it sucks that it feels like you shouldn't craft and you should spend your chaos just buying shit. Uh, However, the price of regals has gone down a whole bunch, which really changes the game. So regals used to be about 2 chaos, now they're a little bit under 1 chaos, and that lets you do alt spam into regal into master crafting. And if you can get 3 really good mods and 1 master crafted mod, that's a pretty fucking good item. As long as they're desirable mods and they're at they have high tiers, that's gonna do you pretty well. So the first ingredient here is buying a 5 link. So if you can just get some like white 5 link on a good base with a decent item level, you're ready to go. So we bought this one for 2C. Assassin's Garb is the highest level evasion base, so it has the increased movement speed instead of the extra evasion, but this is a really great base. So we went with this thing. That's for 2C, and our goal on this is to get we can get T2 life, T2 increased evasion, T1 flat evasion, and we can get T2 resists on this. So our goal is to get some combination of those things. Let's go look at the crafting bench real quick. Some crafts are better than others, which we'll see in a second here. So we can craft, let's say an average is like 60 maximum life. On this item, we could land on average like 105. So that's like a little bit over half of what we want to get, but it costs 4 chaos, which at this level is kind of insane. Realistically, we would be crafting more like 50 maximum life on there, which is almost exactly half. So that's one thing to note. For increased evasion, we can get for about a chaos or less than a chaos, we can get let's say on average here 60% increased evasion. So for this item level, we could be getting 100 to 120, right? So let's call it 110. So again, we're talking about half, but at way less the cost, right? This is probably like a half a chaos or something. I don't even know. This is like very little currency compared to the 4 max life. So that means we're hoping to hit max life and not craft it. Let's look at flat evasion. This one's really interesting. So we can hit T1 flat evasion, right? So let's say on average this is like 350. If you want to craft flat evasion on here, it's a totally different story. What the fuck is it? Right, for 2 chaos we can craft like an average of 70 evasion rating. So we have to hit flat evasion if we're gonna end up going for an evasion thing, because crafting it is just fucking bullshit, right? So let's look at the suffixes here. So crafting a 26 to 30% resistance costs about 1 chaos. That's not so bad because the best we're going to even get is 45, right? So this is, this is more than half for 1 chaos. So I'm pretty happy. I'm most happy, I think, crafting res on here, and then after that it is increased evasion, and I think life and flat evasion are just like going to be bullshit to craft. So we're not going to even try to do those. So which means that if we're trying to get 3 good affixes in 1 craft, that at least one of the things that we alt spam has to be res, life, or flat evasion. So actually it's not even true. We need 2 of those before we even get into the regaling, because the goal here is to have 3 good natural affixes and 1 mastercraft that is not life or flat evasion. So I made a little spreadsheet here to keep track of the cost of doing this. It's really good idea, I think, to do this. It's really easy to like I don't know, get a little bit frustrated and put way too much currency into it, or think like, hey, I could have, I made a pretty good deal here, or I can make a profit, not realizing that you fucking used like a zillion of these regals that cost a chaos each. So to show that we actually were able to make a profit and build something that we couldn't have bought for that little chaos, I'm going to try and keep track of it here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to quality this, obviously, and make it magic. So for those of you who don't have this is what you're looking at now is the PoE trade macro. You can just Google that and figure out how to install it. It's just super helpful for if you suck at crafting like I do. I don't know what any of these things are. So right now you can see that we have a T2 evasion and T8 cold res. So this is like, these are the mods we're hoping to hit. They're just not good enough. Especially, look at the evasion. You might think, oh, T2 is pretty good, but this is 100 evasion rating off of like the max rate. So this fucking sucks. So we're gonna keep going. Okay, 86 life. This is T4. 86 though is pretty close to the maximum we're gonna get, right? So the maximum reasonable life we'll get with this is like 105. Right, so this is like 20 off. I'm pretty happy just augmenting this and seeing what happens. So nothing, so it doesn't matter. The augs are pretty cheap. The only thing you get into where you really want to be sure that your affixes are great is before you regal it. So 31 fire res, again, I think that's worth an aug. That is not worth regaling. That totally sucks. Okay, now we are in business. So let's go check this out. So 44 is T2. That is 1% off the max we can roll on this item. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Increased evasion rating. So the maximum that we could get is realistically like 125 or something, right? Oh no, just kidding. Like 110, right? So this is 100. It's the top T3 roll, which for our purposes is basically T2, which is actually almost like T1, sort of like fake T1 for us, because this is the highest tier we can roll. So this is great. This is exactly what you're looking for, something like this. So this is absolutely worth regaling. So we're hoping right now for another resist life or really good flat evasion. If we don't get any of those, we are just gonna scour it and start again. So we didn't. Oh, that's actually interesting. So what we got was a hybrid evasion on this. So so it's hybrid evasion and stun. So now we're at 137 increased evasion. So right now our evasion is at 1350, which is like pretty solid. Unfortunately, since we don't have flat evasion, we can't like scale all that increase that we got, right? If we were able to, craft on like 300 flat evasions, would be fucking like bananas. Unfortunately, all we can do on this is craft like 30 res, right? So let's pretend that we did this. That would put us at what, like 74 resistance, probably 70. We're not going to hit 30. And 1300 evasion with no life. It's not really that good. That hybrid would have been a lot better if we also had the flat. Or if we could craft the. That's really what would happen, right? Because the way affixes work is we'd have to craft increased. So this thing looks great, but it is it's not worth moving forward with, I don't think. So we're gonna keep going. But it's pretty cool, right? Like this is already, 5 link, 1350, 44 res on it. We got like 70 res after we craft onto it. For what's the total? That's like way less than 10 chaos, right? This is just like a few chaos worth of shit we put into here. So I feel good about this, but not good enough. So let's keep going. Bullshit. That's bullshit. Sucks. Terrible. Not great. awful, awful. Okay, so this is T2 Fire Res, right? And this is the max we're ever going to get for a single res mod. So we're going to go ahead and hope for something fucking dope. We didn't get it. It's like tier 6. And it's a little bit easy to be like, oh, well, that's like the kind of mod we're looking for. But there's really not that many prefixes you can even get on this evasion armor, right? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 things we could even get. So just because we got something that like seems good, if it's like a low tier, when we're only going for 4 mods, we can't have one of them be like shitty. So we are going to just keep moving on. So this is that fucking hybrid? No. That is hybrid. What tier hybrid is that? Sometimes this macro kind of sucks for looking at hybrid tiers because it can't quite tell what it is. Let's go look at what hybrid looks like. So this is what T2 hybrid, and the chaos thing is like T5 or something terrible like that. Yeah, T5. That's how you know you're gonna look legit, is when you can like look at something and know like, oh, this is what tier it is. That feels good. But for the most part, I'm not there yet, and you don't have to be if you have this trade macro. Shit, this all fucking sucks. Okay, now we are in business. Here's some T2 increased evasion, right? Which we're saying is this, we can't even get T1, right? So the max we could get is 120. This is 117. So that's a great start. So this is like 11 resist off the max we can get. And we just start thinking, if we rerolled this, what would we hit that would be like, oh shit, we should keep, this is sick, right? If we hit like 100 life or, 350 flat evasion, like now we're really in business, right? So let's see what happens. I feel pretty good about this so far. Yeah, so that sucks. That's bullshit. So that's like 2 chaos down the drain. That sucks. So 90% increase is T3. Again, the maximum that we're going to get on increased is like, 120. I don't know, it's worth augmenting for sure. Okay, shit. Again, this like, it just feels good, right? But it's definitely not worth it yet. Okay, here we go. Here's T2. Absolute garbage, right? Like this like feels good for some reason 53, but it's like nothing. It's like bare. It's almost 0 considering we can go up to almost 400. Garbage. And fuck. So that is that's a really good life roll, but it's T5 dex. So we're gonna scrap it. This really is like a fuck. Yeah, again, right? This is like the max increase we could get. But with 4 mods, you can't be wasting one on 32 dex. Is this like a sick hybrid for us? No. Yeah, doing this kind of crafting, it's hard to throw away like a really good mod when you have 2 mods on there. But we're definitely not going to be slamming any exalts. So you have to kind of like change your perspective a little bit on crafting. But the goal is here is to get something like fucking dope, right? Even though we are mega scrubs, like, I think we deserve something, some gear that lets us get into the end game and like make more currency, right? That's really the goal here, with some kind of, something like a league starter. Fuck. Gear is to get you deeper in an end game where you can be making better currency, right? Finding better drops and like buying really good gear. The thing is, these alts are so fucking cheap that I'm not gonna screw around with this like T4 lightning rise. Again, that looks so good. It's like super hard to give that up. But we're gonna just find something way better than that. So this is hybrid. It's tier 6 hybrid though. This fucking thing sucks on hybrid. What is it for hybrid? It is what T3 hybrid, and we could get up to T1. So fuck that. Sucks. Shit. This all sucks. We've gotten pretty close a couple times though. Yeah. So 49 dex actually. 49 dex is not nothing. Right, that's actually our like tier 1. I should not have ulted that. That's like dexterity isn't as valuable as strength usually, or certainly intelligence, but you know, sometimes there are people on the left side of the tree that want evasion just because actually I'm just kind of making this up, but like since armor is supposed to suck so much, I could see there being people who don't have enough dex to even like equip this maybe, who want something really high evasion. So we're not going to throw away any more T2 dex rolls. That was definitely a mistake. This fucking sucks. This yeah, it looks like it's good, but it sucks. Okay, so this is T2, right? And again, that looks fucking good, right? If it found on the ground, I'd be stoked about it, but that's really, we can be getting like 30 more life than that. Okay, T2. T1, right? Okay, so this is dope. This is like exactly the position we want to be in, because we can reroll either life or increased evasion, or even oh yeah, or another T1 res, and we're like seriously in business, right? We're already at 1,000 evasion rating on this magic item. Like, this is a sick magic item. This is what's so fun about doing this. There's also that jewel that gives you increased damage for each magic thing that you're equipping. So this is like a great way to get gear that's like almost as good as like some random rare that you find, but that gives you that increased damage, which matters less now that double dipping's gone away. But oh, JK. Also, don't do what I just almost fucking did. It's not like, yeah, it's too bad, right? It's like T7. Again, it feels like, oh man, we hit the thing, but there's only so many things we could hit. This is cool though. Like, that's cool that we made that together. I have to fucking scour it. So there's 2 chaos gone. So that sucks. Nothing. It's amazing how much that flat evasion ranges. Yeah, it looks good, but it's shit. I think that's like tier 1, tier T2 thorns. Doesn't matter. Thorns fucking sucks always. Again, this like looks so good, right? But we can we're not gonna put 2 chaos into doing this shit, right? Into just like risking getting something else good. This is T2, right? Like, that shit is worth an augment though, right? Like, the augment is so cheap. That's the thing to remember, is we're really looking for, I think I've said this like 100 times, but like looking for just great 2 mods before we fuck around. Oh, God, that feels, this is like so hard to turn this down. But we would like need to get flat evasion on this basically for it to be worth it. If we did, I mean, like, if we got 350 flat evasion on this and we craft another res, like, this becomes, or like life, right? It becomes like a thing that you could use almost to endgame, right? I mean, or whatever you consider endgame. 5 link is pretty cool. But we didn't, right? So what we ended up with here is a craftable, like, that's what we would have crafted as a resistance, right? So, oh, sorry. But we just can't craft good flat evasion, and crafting life's hella expensive. And that increased evasion is kind of worthless without the flat to scale it. So we're gonna call that dead. That sucks. That sucks. Shit. Nothing. Nothing. So this is interesting, right? So this is T1 hybrid, T2 res, right? I think this is T1 hybrid, yeah. Again, though, the hybrid just doesn't do much for us because we're not going to be able to get, I mean, I guess we could hit with flat with flat evasion, right? Like we can divine flat evasion on this and then craft on like 80% increase. We get a lot of fucking evasion out of that item. So let's go for that huge fuck. Trash. Garbage. Ooh. 25 chaos is like T2 or something. Whatever, it's garbage. T1 life, but the other thing sucks. T2, but that's like T6 life. Fuck me, God, it looks so good. Alright, so that's T2. That's the best we can. That's the best we can do, right? So definitely gonna aug this, and God, fuck me, that sucks so much. So yeah, oh God, some of these feel good. Is that hybrid? No. So I know I'm going kind of slow here. There's two reasons for that. One is that I am just kind of slow, and the other is that, you know, watching like demi videos, wow, that's really good flat evasion, but the other suffix sucks. Watching stuff like demi craft, like I can barely even keep up. Like he's just scanning shit so fast that makes it hard for me to even learn about it. Oh God. So let's think, if we divine flat onto this, then we're talking, right? So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for exactly flat, which is kind of a shitty risk. I literally don't know what happened there. Oh, we got increased stun block recovery. Fuck. Did you guys see what happened there, right? We had like hybrid evasion and stun block recovery, and then we just regaled more stun block recovery. So it's fucking garbage. It like literally didn't get better after regaling it. God damn it. That's T1 life regen. But we got thorns. Life regen is kind of like only good for Righteous Fire, I think. I don't think Righteous Fire people use evasion. I don't really know. That's definitely the other thing, is like to know about, you know, what the meta builds are too, like what you're building this shit for. Oh God damn it. No, we could get 100 more evasion rating flat, right? That hybrid, doesn't matter because it won't be T1. So the other thing to note here is that I'm not like good at this game, right? I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. That's kind of really the point, is that you don't have to be like great at this to make shit. But also, if I say something, like, don't just take it as reality, because it probably isn't. Maybe this is just like a way for you to, you know, like a jump off point, or a confidence booster for you to waste your own currency on this shit. Because so far it looks unlikely we're gonna turn a huge profit. But that's the other thing to note. This is like poker, right? Where you, the variance is so completely insane that, you know, my little spreadsheet here tracking like making profit on this is probably not the best way to even do it. You have to really do it over time. You know, make like 10 of these things. That's gonna give you a much better idea, right? Because fucking like Maple hits something with 1 fusing and gets a 6 link. It's like a fucking 500 chaos profit or some shit off of like 1 second of time, right? And it's gonna like, but you can also spend 3,000 fuses, right? So it's like 1,500 chaos easily trying to 6 link something, right? So I mean, I'm sure someone's done that on stream, right? So like that variance just on like, you know, someone's stream is so absurd. And we're obviously at a much lower level than that, right? But there's still going to be some pretty big variance for us. So I would hope that in general, I would say this is like less successful than I would normally hope for. Not that I've even done this very much. So this is interesting. This is T1 and T2. That's the highest chaos res we could get for this. So I'm just gonna hit this. I'm not sure who the fucking wants chaos res. That's not good enough. Okay, so this is legit. So that is, I think, literally the maximum increased evasion we can get. That's not true. But this is starting to feel pretty cool. All right, we're at 1200 evasion right now without flat. So let's get that like 350 flat. No. But if we had gotten 350 flat on that, that would have been some sick, gear when we craft another resistance onto it. That would have been fucking dope. Shit. Sucks. Looks good, but it sucks. All these are terrible. Ugh, God, this is like T2 and T1, right? Fuck, except the worst T1. Fuck, sucks. That's a hybrid, right? But it still sucks. So that's, nope. It looks, like it feels good, right? But it's a shit hybrid. And we don't even really want the hybrid anyways. Again, it's like feels good, right? But it's T5 life. And it may be that it's more profitable to not be going for is like triple T2 shit. God damn it, that's a lot of fucking evasion. What's that regen? Okay, the regen's T1. So if somebody actually wanted regen for some reason, I'm gonna, fuck. Yeah, if that was like T2, then I'd be feeling a lot better about this. But this is fucking garbage now. And we need flat anyways, right? We can't get a huge increased evasion without flat. It becomes basically worthless. Again, in my like completely like ridiculous, stupid opinion, that is based off of nothing. It looks good, but it just fucking sucks. So this is T3. I don't know, it's worth an AUG for sure. Well, sometimes something feels like it's worth an AUG, but then you get some other marginal roll on it, and you feel the need to regal it. And now you've wasted a bunch of currency. Fuck. Okay, 44. All right. This is T1, right? So this is the shit we should be defining. Like, this is dope. So all we have to get here is, we're really hoping for life. But if we got a increased evasion or even the hybrid would let us just like get crazy high amounts of evasion. So let's go. Let's see what happens here. Fuck. Okay, so that is T2 Dex, right? So this is a pretty cool item. It might not look like much, but each of these mods is like pretty crazy. So when we go, we're gonna go and craft maximum life onto this. Fucking 4 chaos, which sucks. Fuck. Oh, not life. Just kidding. Because it could be that there's some low life build or some shit wants this. I don't even know. Let's like pretend like they don't want life, because no one wants fucking 60 life on their shit anyways. Plus, it's hella expensive. This is ridiculous, right? You're just thinking, oh, I'm gonna craft some shit out here. No, this is like 5 times more or whatever than this. I don't even know. Let's go look at what a transmute even costs me, and I feel like it's not much. So I'm trying to buy with some transmutes with some chaos. Yeah, dude, it's like nothing. That's like a 1/5 of a chaos, right? So this costs, 8. I don't even know what the fucking math on this. It costs like a lot more than this. What is this? 5 times 4 is like 20. This costs like 20 times more to do this. So fuck that, right? So we're just gonna do this increased evasion. We should just not even think about crafting life. Crafting life is fucking bullshit. So we're gonna put this on here. All right, so now this is like pretty interesting, right? This is 44 res, 44 dex, and 1500 evasion 5 link. Right, so we just like made this like together hanging out. Let's go look how much this cost us. It costs us a fucking shitload, I'm sure, but it's still kind of fun to do. So let's go. Let's figure out where we're at here. We went through a lot of alts. Jesus Christ. So we went through 11 chaos worth of alts. But imagine chaos spamming this thing 11 times, right? You would not get anything close to this, right? Although that was not even probably the majority of our expense. In fact, it was not, because we spent 10 chaos worth of regal, and probably the same amount worth of scours, right? Not a definition. JK. And 174. Alex, right? So, oh, and 10's transmutes, but that's like fucking marginal. So we spent 30 chaos in this plus the 2 to buy the base. So this is like 33 chaos we put into this thing, whatever, around that, plus the shards and shit, the scraps. So let's go see like what this thing is actually fucking worth, right? Let's like reset this. So I'm on standard right now, but the standard economy is so fucking weird. I mean, really, the economy in all the leagues now are weird because they're all about to end, or it's standard, aka like demi economy. So, but whatever. Let's just like pretend we're on legacy. We made this thing a legacy. It would cost us like it's the same to do it there, right? So our evasion here is 1500, right? And our resists, you should always do a little bit less, you know, because the difference between like 40 and 44 at this level is not that huge. Whatever, we'll give ourselves some credit. And 44 dex, right? So plus the dex. Let's just see what pops up here. Of course, the actual thing about this that's cool is the number of links. Literally nothing was even found. Are people just not putting up 5 links that fucking cheap? Okay, sometimes it's hard to find like weird specific stuff like this. At least I've been having a hard time. I mean, maybe that's just like a lot of evasion, right? Let's look on standard. This is always the stupidest part about my videos, is trying to find like an equivalent item. So obviously this is all like 1,000 million times better than what we have. So I don't even fucking know. It's like, right? Like, what is weird about this? Why is this not a thing? I don't even fucking know. Basically, if we were trying to buy a 5 link with some dex and like a little bit of resistances. Then we have a hard time, right? Like, let's like relax this shit a little bit more. I don't know. If someone's watching this, they can tell me why I can't fucking find anything to buy. Again, it might just be that this evasion is like crazy high. So okay, this thing has like fucking a shitload of life, but it's just kind of hard to find evasion that high. I think that's the thing, right? Like if we have like, let's put in like 1,000 evasion, right? We should find like way more shit now. So like this thing, for example, this would be better than ours, but the evasion is like halved, right? So here's something. This is like really close to what we have. I would say ours is probably better than this because our our resistance and our dexterity is significantly more, right? We have like 7 more dex and 5 more res. And 16 life is kind of just nothing. I'm not sure what value having armor on this really gives, right? But like same deal here, right? I mean, this guy is like a little bit better than us. He's like 20 chaos. Okay, but I think the moral of the story is that we could have... Oh, but his evasion totally blows compared to ours, right? If we're looking for some high evasion gear, it's like kind of hard to even find it. Right? Like you have to get up to this fucking level. Like this guy, what are we at? 1,500. I mean, his shit is obviously better than ours, but we couldn't even really find it, right? It's like somewhere in between these two, maybe. So let's say it's like worth 30 chaos, and we spent 30 chaos on it. So okay, cool. So we just wasted like an hour of our lives crafting this thing, but also like learned a fair amount. And I also think that this was an unlucky crafting session, but we still were able to like make something dope, right? Like that's a lot of fucking evasion. And we just like made that ourselves, like hanging out, which I think is pretty cool. That's like a really fun part about the game. And if you can craft and make something cool that you can like wear or sell and not come out like way behind, then I think you're feeling pretty good. Yeah, here's like a bunch of shit, but like in our range. I guess we're at 15. Fuck that. Let's put in 15. Let's see like who we're playing with here, right? I don't know who thinks it's a good idea to play shit in blessings. But we're playing with the big boys here, right? And I mean, like, fuck this guy, right? Like, this guy is obviously way better than ours. But if we needed that dex, man, that dex is kind of the key differentiator, I feel like. I think that's why it's hard to find one, because getting that 44 dex out of a maximum of, what were we even saying, dude? Maximum of like 55 dex. We got 44. It's like pretty fucking good. So I'm really proud of this. I hope you guys are also proud of this build. We could even fuck with this some more. So 59% increased evasion. What are we talking about here? What could we get? And fuck that. Okay, yeah, no, this is fucking bullshit. We're gonna reroll this shit. This is like the demi style shit that I love to watch. Because also it's like not, it's like, you know, 1.2 chaos or something to do this. So let's reroll that. 59 fucking sucks. Alright, cool. 63. So did that really increase our shit that much? 115. Okay, let's try and get to 1600. That just sounds like super fun to me. This is probably where you stop watching the video when I start like fucking ruining this thing. But I've like actually never had an opportunity to do that cool shit where you're like maxing out your mods. Yeah, fuck. Okay, well, we're not able to get over, oh, I was about to say we can't get over 1600, except I happen to have exactly one divine orb. So don't do this. This shit is worth like 6 chaos, right? And let's see how bad can we fuck this up. We could get knock 3 off of our res. We could the increased evasion. I don't even know how that works, divining that with a master craft. Our dex is actually really shitty, and so is our evasion rating. I think on average this divine brings it up. So let's just do this. I don't think I've ever actually used one of these on purpose, so this is gonna be kind of fun. So let's like remember what we had here, right? 44 res, 44 dex, 1580. Okay, so that's fucking dope, right? We just put 6 chaos into this. Okay, this is cool. Okay. Okay, we just put 6 chaos into this. We got 1 more dex, whatever, but we got 200 more evasion. So let's just go fuck around with some like serious evasion numbers here, right? So literally, I mean, fuck the dex and the res. Let's just look for something that's 1700 evasion and 5 blanks. Okay, so like 30 chaos. I forgot this shit had actually kind of a fair amount. And this actually has the same, this has like the resistance and shit, a little bit more. Damn. Okay. Well, okay, whatever. This shit was up a month ago. This guy might not even be online, right? This guy probably is, and his shit is definitely worse than us, right? This shit is definitely, this is like corrupted though. I guess those are pretty good colors. This is dope, right? This is like better than ours with the 67 life. But maybe not. I mean, maybe somebody wants that dex, right? Or doesn't care about this shit. I don't mean, I've never used Queen of the Forest. But maybe we're like closer to this guy, right? Except he doesn't even have the fucking resistances, right? Like, it's kind of hard to price this stuff. I'm not that good at pricing it. But the point is, this thing's like kind of dope, right? This is a lot of resistance, or a lot of evasion. And it's definitely not dropping an exalt onto this thing. But just for something that you like made and made yourself, that is definitely not like a humongous waste of currency that you could wear. You could like wear this and have a good time, you know? I think that's pretty cool. So, wow, that divine really worked out well for us. 398 out of 400. That was, I think that made up for our bad luck earlier. Anyways, that is the video for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll have a little bit better luck or continued normal luck next time.